Welcome to my channel Math Meda. Children, in this session we'll be working on with a very important subtopic under integrations, that is specifically under definite integrations, that is the application of the integration. Meaning I am talking about application of the definite integration here. To just recollect what is a definite integration, if you have any integration with bounds, then you have some capital F of x from a to b. A is called as the lower limit and b is called as upper limit. Just I say that this is f of b minus f of a. So if you do this, you will be getting a constant value. When I get a constant value, the constant can be either 0 or negative number or a positive number. We know that just it's a number. Now, if we have to know what does that number represent, then if I say that number represents an area, then the doubt will be, can the area be 0? Can the area be negative? No. Then how do you say that it is the constant is representing an area? Now remember that the negative sign when I talk about, I am just speaking with reference to some axis. If I take the coordinate axis, above the x-axis I treat positive, therefore below the x-axis I treat negative. Okay, let me give you some example here. In your earlier schooling, you have learnt about the pathways, wherein you have a rectangular part and you are asked to find the area enclosed so that we can know the cost of the tiles that can be laid or the cost of the fencing. Or you have a circular ring, find the area of the ring. All these sorts of problems you might have done it. Now the point is here, they are geometrical shapes, therefore we have the specific formula for them to calculate the area. Now if I talk about the area enclosed between a straight line and a curve this way, the area enclosed between two curves this way, the area enclosed between a line and a curve this way, the area enclosed between a line and a curve this way. In these situations, since they are not specific geometric figures, it would be difficult for us to find the area exactly. Therefore, we talk about the approximated area. Now that approximated area can be calculated with the help of our application of the definite integration. Okay, let us begin with that. Wait for the magic. Let me erase this now. Okay, let me give you an example. If I say y is equal to x squared minus 3x, y is equal to x squared minus 3x. Now, in this situation, if I ask you to integrate this one, yes, you can do it as x squared minus 3x of dx. That is x cubed by 3 minus 3 times of x squared by 2 plus c you will be having if it is an indefinite integration. But if I put the bounds to it as 0 to 3, then what happens here? From 0 to 3, if I put 0, this becomes 0. If I put 3 here, okay, let me put the upper bound first because I have learned that way. This is 27 by 3 minus 3 into 9 by 2. I say the same thing. Good. Minus 0 minus 0. Meaning I will be getting a constant value. I am not interested in the answer for it. But I know that some answer I will be getting. Okay, let me do it. 27 common, which is 1 by 3 minus 1 by 2. So this is 27 of 2 minus 3, that is minus 1 by 6. So I can surely say that this is some minus 9 by 2. This is what I get. This is some number. If I get this number, then what happens is I should know what does this number represent. I should know what does this number represent. Now, if I say I'm talking about area, then I will be shocked and surprised. Why I should call it as area? Because I am getting a negative value. Then what I will be doing here? Just I try to sketch it out. To sketch it out, I should know the points at which the curve intersects the x-axis. So let me factorize this. X square minus 3x equals 0. X of x minus 3 equals 0. That is x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 3. So I'll be getting two values of x. Fine. So if I draw the wavy curve for it, 0 and 3. Just I know that the curve begins here and then move this way, plus, minus and plus. So between 0 and 3, I'll be getting the negative value, and less than 0, greater than 3, I'll be getting the positive value. Say for example, I put here 4, yes, I get a positive value. If I put 2 there, yes, I'll be getting a negative value. Sure, I'll be getting it. So if I try to draw the graph of it, I'll be getting the graph this way. Yes. So when I talk about the area, which area I'm talking about? Below the axis. So the negative sign just hints you that the curve is below the x-axis. The curve is below the x-axis. And another thing, I got here negative 9 by 2. I said the negative 9, it speaks about below the x-axis. So if I have to get the area, put it on a modulus, which is nothing but 9 by 2, meaning 4.5 square units will be the required area. Okay children, this is what I meant to go for. So just remember that when I am talking about the application of definite integration, I am just talking about finding the area. Here I have given only one curve. So what I mean is, if the two curves are given, what to do? If three curves are given, what to do? Or if you have a trigonometric function and an algebraic function, what to do? So all these things can be solved using the simple trick here. That is, here nothing is given. I have found the points which intersect the axis. Say suppose I give you two curves. Just find the point of intersection. Put it on the axis. Then you will understand the area enclosed. Then taking the limits, you can just solve the problem. Okay, that part will be looking in the next session of mine. Thank you children.